Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Saturday night. Bad Boys of Reselling. My name is Alex Fatman The Flipper, your friendly neighborhood fat man, and I am excited. It's a beautiful night. It's been a beautiful day. Alex Fatman The Flipper, your friendly neighborhood fat man, and I am excited. It's a beautiful night. It's been a beautiful day. Is that me? And yep, totally me. I'm the one who did that again. So anyway, it's good to see everybody here. I'm going to say a couple shout outs real quick. Lisa is in the house. What is up, Lisa? Money from Mars. How's it going, buddy? And we got a few other people in the chat. Marie, Marie's in the house. If y'all don't know who Marie is, Marie's here. Douglas is here. Just Connie, what is up? Train Watcher Don, what's going on? And I'll be saying what's up to y'all as we continue the show going. I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody, say a quick, what's up to everybody. And I'll start with, we're going to go with the guy over here. Oscar, what is up? Say what's up to everybody.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Oscar, El CuBaNaSo, the thrifting thruster, the arbitrage assassin, and all those great names that everybody has given me. I'm glad to be here with everybody tonight. I'd like to thank everybody that's here in the chat for joining us. And I'm also honored to have Mr. Pete with us tonight. And I know it's going to be a great show.
It is going to be a great show. Thank you, Oscar. And Josh, what is up, my friend?
What is shaking, everybody? Suburban Beard, hanging out. 138 listings today. Thank you.
Woo!
And, it's a long day. I shut down all social media. Just watched, it had Arnold Schwarzenegger movies playing in the background and listed until my eyes started bleeding. But they're up, and we had 11 sales today, so take that.
Nice.
And what's up with Manny, man? Why is Manny all dressed up? He's ready for Halloween, huh?
He's ready for Halloween. We had the skeletons in the yard are out dancing, and he felt left out, and I also can't find his arms. So,
so he's armless?
Yes.
Oh, man. And I feel even worse that I sold the armless mannequin because they would have made a great couple. I'm gonna say what's up to a couple more people here, and we got Jody's here. We have also, I saw Justin Perilet. What's up, Justin? And I'll keep saying what's up. And Tommy Bernard's in the house. What's going on? So now we're going to introduce our guests. Let me explain something to y'all. All right. I love YouTube. I love the community that it has. That we can come together as resellers. That we can learn from each other. We can help each other grow, and we can entertain each other as well, right? Because we build friendships, and it goes past reselling sometimes, And I was fortunate enough to meet our guest tonight while I did a live garage sale with Oscar, and he purchased some shoes from me, right? And he asked me how much I wanted. And I mean, if you ask me that, I'll tell you some crazy price, right? But in reality, I said, look, man, honestly, whatever you feel comfortable with. And he said 15, and I said, no, man, I'll take 10, right? And the reason I did that was because of this right here. Ever since then, me and Pete have spoken and multiple times, and I've gotten to know Pete a little bit, and his stories, his experiences are so amazing. Like, this man has done it all. He's done it all, and he's a true sense of an entrepreneur, of a businessman, and of just a great human being. I mean, Pete, his story is amazing. And with that being said, sometimes it's not about the money. I say that all the time. My mom, y'all know, my mom will probably pop in here in a little bit. My mom always kills me when she calls me, stop saying that. But it's true. So it's not always about the money. It's to me, relationships are very important. And to me, relationships is what it's all about. Because you can't make money without the right relationships. And so with that being said, Pete Mancuso is here with his wife on the side. You're not gonna see her. She's the chat master. So she'll be responding. But Pete, say what's up to everybody and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Pete Mancuso. Live in Lakeland, Florida, Central Florida, near Alex. Met Alex when he did the garage sale. And then I had a story to tell everybody. I said, hey, guess what? What? Guess where I was today? Where? Went to a garage sale in Miami. They were like, get out of here. You're here already. I said, no, I went to a garage sale in Miami. I said, I bought 3 pair of shoes. Well, where are the shoes? Well, Dio's got the shoes. And Dio's in Miami. Dio is our adopted son and goes to St. Thomas University. And when I bought the shoes from Alex, I said, hey, could you get them to Dio for me? He said, of course, great. So that's how I met Alex and got on Alex's YouTube site by being a subscriber to the DG Picker. And
shout out to DG Picker.
There he is in the chat.
And so I kept hearing Alex, and I said, boy, this guy is cool. And then when I watched some of his videos, I was like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Who for their birthday goes out and get gift cards and gives them to somebody else? So I said, I got to get to know this guy. And so, but my story is a long story, and born and raised in Central New York. And my first business was shoveling driveways when I was 10 years old. Thank God for the snow. And then everybody would say, well, could you do mine? Could you do mine? Could you do mine? Could you do mine? And then before you know it, I was making all kinds of money. I was coming home. My mother was like, where'd you get all that money? I said, I went to work. She said, get out. You didn't go to work. I said, no, I went to work. And I've always been brought up in the Italian family. When you work, you give it your all to make your pay. If you don't give it your all, don't go back. And so that's what I always done in business. And met my wife, and we got married in 1987. And at that time, I owned a landscaping company up north. And we had a greenhouse, a nursery. We had our pesticide license for spraying lawns and ornamental. And so I told her in 1989, I said, hey, if we're going to move, now's the time for us to move. The taxes up here are going through the roof. And by that time, my company was probably the largest one in Central New York. We took care of properties within a 150-mile radius of us. And so I called a business broker, put the business up for sale. He called me the next day. He said, Pete, I got your business sold. I said, how so quick? He was like, well, the guy that lives across the street from your office sees all the trucks, all the people coming. He said he wanted that money. He said he's the one that bought it. So I was like, okay, cool. So I told my wife, I said, we sold the business. She was like, what do we do now? I said, we buy a house in Florida. So I called up a realtor down here, and we bought a house sight unseen over the fax machine. And I was going to come down here at the ripe age of 28 and just retire and not do anything and lounge in the sun and in the pool. And well, that lasted a month. And then I said to my wife, I'm going to start my landscaping business again. So I started it down here. Well, down here is not like up north. People down here will cut grass for $10 a cut. And I'm not going to put the keys in my equipment, and my knowledge is way more expensive than $10. So I said, I'm going to retire. So I went back to the house, and I'm just lounge around the house, do repairs around the house. And then we said, well, let's start my wife wanted a bird. So we bought an exotic bird. Then every time she wants something, we buy something, and I say, how do I make money from this? So the bird led into breeding 150 pairs of exotic birds. Putting
what kind
up
of bird
big buildings. Huh?
What kind of bird was it?
The yellow-naped Amazon was the first one we bought. But then we raised everything from cockatiels to macaws. Everything except for cockatoos. So then that became my wife's job, because she was feeding baby birds from day one, and are 2 weeks old, and they got to be hand fed with a syringe. And so it was a learning game. And everything we have done is we've done it. We said we were going to do it. We've done it, and we learned as we went. And that's the easiest thing about business. You learn as you go. And you're going to make mistakes, but if you make a mistake, just pick up and go back at it again. But my son came along, and I said, I'm going to start a travel baseball team because he was much better than the kids in T-ball. And so I said, I'm going to start a travel baseball team. So we traveled all over the state of Florida and then into South Haven, Tennessee, or South Haven, Mississippi, and Kansas City, Missouri, and playing in national tournaments and meeting a lot of people that way. We got back our third year from the Nationals, and I got offered a job at a high school team to coach the high school baseball team. And then went from that team to another school, then to the third school my third year. And they were like, we want you to be our athletic director too. I don't know nothing about being an athletic director, but I said, sure, I'll do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So I did it and made all kinds of money for the school. Brought in soda machines and did all types of fundraisers and lasted there 5 years. And I said, I got a business of my own and I'm paying people to work there and I'm working here making pennies. I'm going to leave here and go back to my business. I own a dry cleaners, and December 1st will be 20 years that I've owned this dry cleaners. And my wife owns the grooming shop, the pet grooming shop right next door. And we have done everything. I mean, anything you could think of. She said she wanted a bonsai tree. So I didn't buy one bonsai tree. I bought 22. So I bought 22 and then learned how to trim them and bend them and train them and everything. And then before you know it, we're doing craft shows. So then she was like,
so the lesson of that is don't ask you for anything for Christmas or for birthdays or nothing, because you're gonna end up. I mean, if anything, I would ask you to build a business out of it. Imagine, like, hey, I want a mannequin. All of a sudden, you have a warehouse full of mannequins.
Yeah, and it's just been like, so I did. So then I said she wanted a bowl. So I said, I'm gonna go buy a lathe. So I bought a lathe, and then our 2-stall garage turned into a wood shop, the whole thing. And now she's coming out at 12:30 at night saying, hey, are you coming to bed tonight? And I said, I'll be there in a minute. I'm getting ready for this craft show. She said to me, how come every time I open that door, there's wood chips flying everywhere? And I said, that's a great name for a business, wood chips flying. So that's what we named that business. And we did all kinds of craft shows and made all kinds of money and all kinds of friends. And so when we owned the grooming shop first, and after 3 years, the lady next door from the cleaners come over and she said she was crying. And I said, what's wrong? She says, we're closing. I said, you're closing? She said, yeah. She said, November 30th is our last day. So as soon as she left the grooming shop, I called the landlord. I said, I want to negotiate a lease for the cleaners. He said, Pete, there's somebody in there. What are you, crazy? I said, no, I'm not crazy. They're moving November 30th. I want to take over December 1st. I figured a ready-made business. People come there every day. That's what I'm going to do. My wife says, how are you going to do that? You don't know nothing about it. I said, I'm going to learn. And so we opened the cleaners, and that'll be 20 years, December 1st.
Wow.
And
now we've gotten up to the cleaners. All right.
Uh-huh.
And there's a lot more to.
Oh yeah, there's many more.
I mean, the story of the bird and I mean, I remember you were telling me about doing coral reef.
Yep.
I mean, and from what I've gotten so far, it's like you had, like how you said in the beginning, you know, you said you were gonna do it. It came to you. You said, I'm gonna do it, and you did it.
Yep.
You know? And you've had bumps in the road and all that, and you did it. But there was something now. You're here about to purchase or about to get a lease for this dry cleaners, and you did it, right? And now it's 20 years, and you and your wife are doing the pet grooming thing. Right next door is the dry cleaning thing. But where does reselling, you know, come? This is genius because we talked about this. This is genius. Y'all need to check this out because and as a matter of fact, Casey, the Rockstar Flipper, he had mentioned this in one of his videos, not recently, and it's something that I've attempted doing, but you did it so amazingly, right? Because you own the dry cleaner now. Explain to the viewers what your mind created.
It all goes back. It all goes back to the birds, like 10 years before the dry cleaners. And so when we sold our acreage and sold all the birds, we moved into a subdivision. Well, you can't put big buildings in the back and all them loud birds. The neighbors would have they would flip out. So I said, we're going to get little parrots, put them on the back porch, and breed them. So I put an ad on Craigslist looking for parrots. Well, I'm chasing all over Central Florida, picking up for free all these birds that these people don't want. So I match them together as mates on the back porch. They start breeding, and all of a sudden we're breeding babies that people don't have colors of. So now we're selling these little 2-week-old birds that I don't know if anybody's seen them, but they look like your skin with a little bit of down on them, and they're about that big.
That's crazy.
And so we're selling them for $300. So after about 3 or 4 years of that, I said to my wife, I said, we're gonna stop selling birds. I said, it's a lot for us right now. We're just gonna hold off for a little while. I'm gonna put an ad on Craigslist. Put an ad on Craigslist about all the birds, the colors they produce. I have a guy from Sarasota call me. And, you know, Craigslist, you got to really, really watch the people you deal with on there. So he gives me his name, and he tells me I own 3 Little Caesar locations down in Sarasota and Parrish. I was like, oh, okay. I said, so I look him up online to make sure he's who he is before he's got to come to my house to pick up these birds. So he calls me. He said, I'm on my way up there. He said, I was stalled in my business for a while. I said, yeah, the pizza business has got to be crazy. He said, no, it's not the pizza business. I'll show you when I get there. So the guy comes to the house. Before we go and look at the birds, he said, let me have your computer. He logs in, and there I see eBay. And I said, okay, what's that? He said, this is my store. I said, wait a minute. That says $250,000 to date. He said, yeah. And I said, what do you sell on eBay? He said, Legos. I said, I'm missing the boat. I'm missing the boat. So he was doing retail arbitrage with Legos from the Walmart and reselling them on eBay. So I thought about it, and I said, no. One day I'm sitting at the cleaners with my son who goes to school in Miami now. And we're talking.
I met him.
Yep.
Good kid.
Dio.
Yeah.
So he says, this lady comes walking in, and she's got a varsity jacket, and it's got a big Pepsi logo on the back. And she said, how much would you clean this for me? And I said, well, ma'am, I said, you know, the leather sleeves take special care. I said, it'll be $40. And she says, oh, can't you just throw it in the dry cleaning machine? I don't care what the leather looks like. I'm just going to clean it with Windex because I'm selling it on eBay. I said, you're selling it on eBay? So you know what? Some first person comes, said eBay. Second person comes, says eBay. Before the third strike and you're out, you better swing and hit the ball. And that's what we did. I said, Chris, I got an idea. She was like, oh, my God. She said, what is it? I said, we're going to sell on eBay. She said, what are we going to sell on eBay? I said, all these beautiful clothes that these people don't pick up, that they leave here. We have only cleaning costs in them. We got wedding dresses, prom gowns. We got everything. So that's how we started in eBay. And a year and a half later.
And watching YouTubers.
And learning. And just, it's amazing what you could do is if you put your mind to it.
So now what you do is you basically you'll have the clothes from the dry cleaners, right? And,
yep.
And basically people go, I don't know how long would they go without
30
coming by to pick it up?
Legally 30 days, and it's the cleaners. But I usually give them 60 to 90 days. And some stuff before this time like we had a wedding dress there since the year we opened.
Wow.
And it was all clean, but the lady never got married. I called her and said, hey, your wedding dress is clean and ready. You're supposed to be getting married tomorrow and you haven't picked it up yet. She said, I'm not getting married. Keep it. I said, okay.
Cool.
So
that's bittersweet right there, right?
yeah. So
she's not getting married, but you kept the wedding dress.
Yeah. So then after watching YouTube, I'm hearing about these things called the bins. I was like, what the heck are the bins? I said, Chris, let's look up. Let's see where the closest bins are. I gotta go see this in person. Come to find out there's ones right in Lakeland. I was like, great, let's go. So we went down to the bins. We find all these beautiful clothes with all these nasty stains on it. I said, who cares? Taking it back to the cleaners, I'm going to clean it. So now I clean the clothes, press them, and put on there professionally dry clean. And so I'm able to get a few dollars more than, the same item that's being sold. Yeah. And when everything's pressed professionally and then you take pictures of it, it just looks better. And so that's what I started doing. And so now I'm learning the tricks of the trade of this eBay business. And then, 7 months into eBay, I said to my wife, what about Poshmark? I heard something about Poshmark. So we started on Poshmark. Then I said, hey, what about Amazon? So then we started on Amazon 3 months ago. We've got books in there right now. But now we're getting into the wholesale part of it, buying wholesale products, hunting wholesale products out, purchasing them, and going to be sending in a lot of stuff.
And if I can just say, I know I'm not on the screen, but eBay is so much work. This reselling is so much work. In the beginning, I was like, oh, this is no big deal. Oh, we could do this. Now I'm listening to everybody on YouTube saying that everybody thinks that when they get into it, it's easy and it's not work. And we've added like another 24 hours to our day. But it's also addicting. I can't go anywhere now, and I don't buy anything for myself anymore. I go and I'm buying everything for eBay and Amazon.
But it's so crazy how you just learn stuff on the go. If you just, open your ears, open your mind. I remembered when we first moved to Lakeland, I heard this local radio star, and it's a station, but from 9 to 10 every morning, they have a swap shop, and you're able to call in 3 times a week with 3 products with, per week. So I started just putting big stuff on there, like dressers and stuff we have laying around the house that we don't use no more. But so then one day I said, I'm going to put an ad on there. So I put an ad on there. We'll buy your used video games and video game systems, working or not. And you would not believe what we ran into. The first guy calls us up and he says, I got 124 games and I got 6 systems. I said, what systems do you got? He said, I got a Wii, I got a Super Nintendo, I got 2 Nintendo 64s, and 2 PlayStations. I said, how much do you want for them? He said, well, I need to buy a fan for the house, so I'll take $200. And I said, could I come now? And so me, my wife, and Dio went out there and bought all this stuff from this guy, and we're ready to leave. And he comes out of his bedroom with 24 bonus games and said, here, take these with you too. So I thought that was great, but they were kids that played these games. So the boxes are pretty well beat up, but they're still worth some money. So I keep putting that ad on there and on there and on there. And all of a sudden I get this second guy that calls me. Well, he tells me on the phone he's got a Super Nintendo with 24 games. So I said, well, how much do you want for him? He said, come and make me an offer. They're in my way. I said, okay, I'll be interested in everything. So we get in the car. We drive down to the south side of Lakeland, pull up to this house, and knock on the door, meet the guy. He said, okay, I got him here in the garage. Well, he had a 3-stall garage. One of the garage doors was down. He said, they're right behind this door. And he opened up the door, and as wide as that door and probably 10 foot deep, we're laying all these games and game systems that look like they came right out of the store. There's not a scratch in the boxes of Super Nintendo games that we got from this guy. There's not scratches on the box from the Nintendo 64 game. Like, did you play these? And he was like, well, he said, yes, but it's only me and my wife. We don't have kids. So that's the difference. And we have sold some of those games for $327. But on that buy, we had made $5,800 on that buy for $200.
That's crazy.
And we still got probably 45 games left, and we got I kept all of his systems to test other games. And we got with the only systems we sold from him, he had 7 of the handheld game systems, the Sonys and the Game Gears and the Game Boys, and everything with manuals, warranty cards, all the packaging it came with, everything. It was an amazing buy. I could not believe it. So it's just amazing what you could ask for, and you'll get.
So that is super amazing. Like, that's my thing. That's what I search for. Luckily for me, my birthday was the other day, and my friend Oscar gave me a Nintendo system, an original Nintendo, and Gavin, what was it? Gavin. Yeah. Anyway,
Frontier Flipper.
Yeah, Frontier Flipper. I was gonna call him flipping something else. Frontier Flipper. He hooked me up with my Ninja Turtle Nintendo game. But I want to say what's up to of course DG Picker, right? What's up, DG Picker?
What's up?
What's up, man? And this guy, I just met him the other day. I think he goes by the name of Storage Auction Pirate.
What's up?
What's up, homie?
What are you guys doing?
What's up, man?
Just hanging out, talking business war stories, man.
I feel bad we had to drop Manny out of the group. He's so entertaining.
Manny talks so much. Man. Manny talks so much. You know, it's not too bad.
That's a good thing, though.
But yeah, this is Pete. This is Mike, and this is Jordan.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, guys.
How are you?
If you've had a chance to listen, Pete's story is pretty amazing. How he just never stopped, and he always jumped into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and he's had his hand in a bunch of businesses, and he just recently started reselling. So, I mean, dude, and how much have you made off of that stuff already with the Nintendo, with the games?
Just that one guy's was $5,800 so far.
Wow.
The stuff that looked like it was, and I'm telling you, it was brand new. The only thing, like where the lid opens up on the box, you would see a little bend there where they opened it, but that's it. I mean, the box doesn't have a scratch on it, a dent on it, nothing. I mean, those games were pristine.
That's incredible. Yeah, I'll be putting out a video tomorrow where I went to. It'll probably be tomorrow or Monday, most likely Monday. But where I went to a friend's house, and I did a video where I went to her garage. They're twins, and I went to one of their garages, and I told everybody to comment what's in the box. Mercy, right? Well, her twin sister has a house full of collectibles. I mean, you name it, she has it. It's insane. I have a couple videos about it, but she started opening up her closets, and I mean, every time you go into her house, it's like the closet is a storage unit, dude, and it's like that storage unit you've been looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been watching a lot of the storage unit, family, like Mike and What the Hales and Locker Nuts. I mean, you name them. Like, I watch them. You know what I'm saying? Because I like that stuff.
Jeremy popped my cherry the other day. He took me to my first auction.
This house, walking into it, I mean, I had seen Alex's video, And then they say it's like, well, Alex, well, they call him Guy, right? They call him
Calling
Guy.
guy.
Good guy.
Like, hey, Guy, I mean, come around. This is your house, you know? And then Alex just walks in and shows me where everything in the collection is. But there is everything. I mean,
I'm gonna unbox. I'm gonna unbox in the video that I'm gonna come out with. I'll put it out tomorrow. It's not a really long video, but it's an unboxing of just a ton of Nintendo stuff that there were games that she didn't even know she had. And it was in a box that you would have never guessed that video games were in there. You know what I'm saying? And she just doesn't know what she has. She knows what she has, but she doesn't know what she has. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's like on the fence of whether she wants to let it go or not. They don't, but they do. So I'm gonna put out that video tomorrow, and that's gonna lead into another video thing that me and Oscar are working on. So stay tuned. Next week we're actually gonna have hey Mike, you're gonna be our main guest, our main special guest next week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have Mike next week as our main special guest. We might have some other people pop in. But yeah, we're gonna talk about this stuff, and I'm gonna be talking to Mike after the show because I already talked to Jeremy and I talked to Justin Grimes a little bit, very very briefly, about an idea that Josh had, and it's gonna be fun stuff. So I'm gonna talk to you about that. But the unboxing of Mercy's Garage, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I spoke to her today. It's gonna happen. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's incredible, dude. The stuff that they have, like, oh my god, like
Pee Wee Herman's in the bathroom.
Pee Wee Herman is literally in the bathroom. Oscar saw him.
Pee Wee Herman is twice in the bathroom, right?
It's incredible, dude. It's incredible, and that's the stuff. That's the stuff that gets me, excited and happy, and I love it. I love it. Hey, I see Pamela's here. What's up, Pamela Lynn? Hey, I got your box being shipped out ASAP. Donatella Tobino, what is up? Sister from Florida. She's in Florida too, West Palm Beach. What is up, Donna? But yeah, how are you guys doing? What's up with you guys? Mike, Jordan, talk to me. How's your week been going?
Oh, I spent most of my day at the zoo.
Hunting ghosts, right?
Yeah, I haven't had anything weird lately.
There are
Yeah,
ghosts. There are ghosts at the zoo. My friend worked there for about 7 years, and there's certain parts of the zoo where they only walk in pairs at the Cleveland Zoo. It's pretty creepy.
That's crazy. So what's up, Mike?
I've been busy, man. I've been at the auctions all week. I've been making and doing eBay, and I've been filming videos. I just did a big collab today with somebody. That was pretty crazy. It's been busy.
Well, your crew out there is like 6 deep, isn't it? You got you, Jeebus. I mean,
we got Treasure Hunting with Jeebus lives here now. Storage Stalker with Little Mama Stalker. We got Locker Nuts. And then we got other people like my daughter, the Salt Princesses, makes videos. Another one of our friends started doing one in Spanish, and his channel blew up. He got like 32,000 subs in like 6 weeks.
Wow.
Not even a shout out from us. Just something about Latin YouTube is taking off lately. And
Alex, channel change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that yo tengo que hablar más así.
No thanks. I already had lunch.
There's something about it because I don't know what it is because I watched what Manuel did, and I just did a collab today with the guy who does it all in Spanish. He has 1 million subs. It took him like almost a little less than 2 years, he said, to get his 1 million subs, and his channel's all in Spanish. And he came out and did a collab with me on my storage units. I'm waiting to see that video because I think he just released it as we're up here.
That's amazing, man. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, there's a channel that everybody here in Miami that all the Latin families watch called Otaola. It's called Hola Otaola. Man, it doesn't matter where you go in Miami. This guy has done so much marketing for a lot of the restaurants down here. You walk into the store and you tell them that you're here because you saw a promotion on Otaola, and they give you 15 to 20% off your check.
Wow.
What does that translate to, the name?
So Hola is hello, but Otaola is his YouTube name. it doesn't have a translation, but it's. I mean, here in Miami, it's trending recently. I went not too long ago to have sushi, and then, my wife's stepfather says is like, make sure when the check comes to mention Otaola. I mentioned Otaola, and they took 20% off of the check.
So as a bolo, if you ever come visit South Florida, especially Miami, just mention Otaola, and that'll help you pronounce your Spanish too. You learn a little Spanish. Hola, Otaola, and you get 15 to 20% off anywhere you
I
go
need to
to.
work on my Spanish.
Don't worry. When me and Alex get there, we're gonna speak to you in Spanish, and then you're gonna learn it because you're gonna have to learn it.
Pete, how's your Spanish? Because you're in Lakeland.
Non-existent.
Hola, mira. That's it. That's it. And Dio is Spanish, and he's from the Dominican Republic, and you would think I would know more than that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, he speaks English. He speaks English really good.
Yes, he does. He's been here for 5 years.
All right. Well, I got something here.
What you got?
I'm gonna teach everybody some basic Spanish right now. Shoes. This one's for Jordan. Jordan, we call him the sneaker pimp. All right. Because Jordan makes ridiculous amount of money flipping sneakers, right? Jordan, read that.
Los zapatos.
See it.
Los zapatos.
Zapatos.
Los zapatos.
I know
Los
that.
Yeah, I never would have said it
Heavily
like that.
used with the flea market.
Mi pantalones están fuego.
Yo, comment in the chat if you want us to teach you. Like we'll do a couple words every Saturday night. Teach y'all Spanish.
Yo, CuBaNaSo is gonna teach everybody Spanish.
There's only
We'll
two
do
things.
it.
It's a plus because if you're ever at a garage sale or a yard sale down here in Miami, if you know Spanish, you'll be able to negotiate better.
And then you'll also know if they're like talking like to the person next to them, like saying like, "Yo, we gotta totally get this guy. This guy's gonna overpay for this stuff," like because people do that. They'll smile in your face, be like, "Sí, vente," right? Or they'll be like, "Yeah, $20, and then they'll be like, "No, this guy doesn't know what he's getting," What is Spanish?
Yeah, I literally know mi pantalones están fuego and ay Dios mío from the Goonies when the old lady's yelling at the end. Like, that's all I know. But then I did learn that what she's saying is not what mouth is saying that she's saying. Because she's yelling ay Dios mío, and he's like, no pen, no sign. Yeah, it's totally wrong. That's all I got so far. But side note, Alex,
Yeah,
we need to buy a dry cleaning business. It's literally free inventory, and you get paid to have free inventory. Pete has cornered this little market here of free inventory, and you get paid to get the inventory in the first place. Like, it's amazing.
It's convenience. Imagine having a chain of laundromats scattered out the southeast or for you guys, up north and others that are watching the West Coast and West. If you had a chain of laundromat, that's like unlimited free inventory.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because after 30 days, we used to let the clothes just slide and go 60 days and go 90 days. Now 30 days, we're calling them, hey, if you don't come and get it, we're giving it to the consignment store.
AKA me.
And what are the chances? Yeah, what is the percentage? When you tell them that 50% come and pick it up, the other 50 leaves it.
I'd say maybe, yeah, I'd say 80 to 90% pick it up. And it's always the real good stuff that you say, oh my God, I hope that's my size. And then it's a small or a 3X. I had a 7X shirt in there. I mean, you never nothing your size. It's always someone else's size.
Or you look at the clothes and go, wow, you know the amount of money I can make off of this reselling it?
So they only got 2 more days, or that's $95.
2 more days.
But, we do a lot of, we do the bin things and that call-in show. One day I put on there if there was any Lulu Road distributors that were wanting to get rid of their stuff. And I had a lady call me. She lived about an hour and a half from here. And she said, I have everything new with tags. She said, how much do you pay for it? I said, well, how many pieces do you have? She said, well, let me go and I'll count and I'll call you back. I said, okay. You more or less got to try to interview them over the phone. Like I could tell she needed money. So she called me back 2 days later because her phone broke. And then she had to wait till she got her new phone. But she called me back and she said, I have 240 pieces. I said, well, before we go any further, you're an hour and a half away from me. And that would be an hour and a half up there, an hour and a half back. That's too much time for me really to do this. She said, oh, no, I'll bring them to you. I said, okay, you have 240 pieces. I said, how's $1 a piece? She said, okay, when do you want me to come? And I have 240 pieces where we sold 8 pieces and we paid for the whole lot. And we still got all the other stuff left.
Yeah, that's incredible. Dude.
Our debt pile just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. I think we're up to, I bought 400 records the other day, records from the 40s and the 50s. And so there's 400 of them, about 200 Lulu Row, and about another 50 or 60 straggler pieces here. So that's not including the stuff that's at the shop. So.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, just it's like how Josh was talking about, you got the inventory there and it comes to you and it's already paid for, but it's the simple idea of like I like to talk a lot about, if you see an opportunity, don't just see that one opportunity, try to see past it and try to see other opportunities within it, and that's a perfect example. I mean, when you got that dry cleaning service, when you went to the owner of the lease or whatever, and you talked to him and you told him, hey, look, I want to lease this, and they're like, but they're still there, and you told them, but they're moving, and when you got into that, you just didn't know what was going to come of it, and look, you saw an opportunity within the opportunity when it came, right? When it came, because at first you didn't know. Yeah, you heard about reselling. Yeah, you heard about eBay, but 10 years have to pass by for you to be in a dry cleaner that you owned. That lady comes in and says, "Oh, I just need to clean this up because I'm selling it on eBay."
Do a lot of you guys sell clothing or?
I sell some clothing. I still sell something on Poshmark at least once a week, even though I haven't shared, listed, or anything on Poshmark in over 4 months, 3-4 months. I don't even know how long.
Yeah, actually, I sell today on Posh.
Because a lot of it, people will go and see a good piece of clothing at a thrift store or at the bins. There's that big stain on there. We started a new procedure at the cleaners called wet cleaning. So you don't use that perchlorethylene chemical anymore, which is very hazardous to your health, to the environment. If it spills on the concrete floor, that chemical soaks through that concrete all the way through into the water table, and you'll see trees being killed around the area.
Whoa.
So we got out of that because of the health and because of the nature. So we got into this process called wet cleaning. And I could do like tips and tricks. A lot of people, ties are at our thrift store are like 50 cents. But I don't call them ties. I call them men bibs. Because there's always stains all over them. And so you'll get this good tie and there'll be the stains on them. And, oh, do I want to take this as a dry cleaner and spend $5 to have it clean? Well, then you got $5.50 in the ties, your fees, your shipping and all that stuff. Are you going to make money? No. But how many thumbs up do you have, Alex?
I have 2 thumbs up right here.
How many are watching?
42.
I think it's 40. Oh, yeah, 42. And 25 thumbs up, I think. Maybe.
20. Let's get 35 thumbs up, and I'll give you a way that you could clean a tie at your house that won't cost you practically nothing but your time. And it'll come out looking brand new.
And I appreciate that. There you go. So, yeah, give this 10 more thumbs up. And he's going to give you – I have a few ties. that I've recently taken down from my eBay because I want to relist them. I didn't even include them into my garage sale, but I have a few articles of clothing that I'm still going to resell. What I did was I went through my eBay store and I took out items that were just either poorly listed, the pictures weren't great, or something. You know, there was something that I could have improved on. So instead of keeping them in there, I took them out. So I have things like those ties that I'm gonna redo, and I actually need to. There's a few that I need to clean, so that would be beneficial to me too. So if you guys want to get a little tip there, hit that thumbs up. There you go.
It's going to be 2 tips into 1.
Need one more.
She said.
2 in 1. That's
2
what.
in 1.
There we go. 35.
35.
35 thumbs up.
35. Okay, here we go.
Wait, no. Let's get to 100 thumbs up. Come on, guys.
100 thumbs up. Okay, let's go. 100.
No, I was just joking. Go ahead.
Everybody,
Everybody
in the chat, share the video. Let's get it to 100.
Okay. Here's the first part of this tip. Whenever you put something in your washer, what's the most thing you're worried about? It's going to bleed and run all over. If you got a red and white shirt that's brand new, you're afraid to wash that thing because you're afraid the red's going to run into the white. Your home washer at home, put it on a delicate cycle, put a half tub of water in it, and put a half a cup of vinegar in that water. That vinegar is going to lock that color so it don't bleed. So every tie is mostly 2 colors. So you're going to put vinegar in the water, fill it up halfway, put it on a gentle cycle. But now the only thing that really is ever going to happen to a tie is the insert of the tie, when you go to clean it, is going to turn in there. Now, what people don't realize, even in the dry cleaning process, your clothes are not cleaned dry. They are wet when they're being cleaned. They start off dry and they end dry in that one machine. That's why they call it the dry cleaning machine. This you're going to do in your washer at home. You take the tie and hold it lengthwise and put a knot in it way at the bottom where the 2 ends meet. Then put a top at where the 2 ends are loose. Put it in the wash it. Nothing is going to happen to that tie. Put a little bit of soap in there. When it's done, hang it out for about, well, depending where you are, till it's about half dry. Then take the hottest iron you could get. Put a sheet over that tie and put it on an iron board. And with the good side facing down, brush that iron straight across it. That tie will look brand new when it's done. All the stains will be gone.
No,
because what's on your tie is your food. Food is all water-based. Even if I was to take that water-based stain and put it in a dry cleaning machine, dry cleaning is done with all 100% chemical. So there's no water to flush that stain out. So what happens is if you put a water-based stain in a dry cleaning machine, that water-based stain is still going to be on your garment because there's nothing to flush that water out. Or when it's in the washer, the water flushes it out. Your ties will look brand new when they're done.
That's amazing. I would have never guessed vinegar. So you're talking about like white distilled vinegar, like just
either it could be white vinegars, whatever vinegar you want to use.
So like even apple cider vinegar?
Apple cider vinegar, because it's the acidity in the vinegar that locks the colors. The little bit of soap you put in there is going to clean the tie. The water is going to rinse it off. And then you're going to take it out, let it just hang, drip dry till it's about half dry. Lay it on a table with a little sheet over it, the hottest iron you could get, and rub it on that tie with a lot of pressure. That tie will look brand new when you're done.
That's amazing.
So now instead of paying go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So now instead of paying the dry cleaner $5 to clean that 50-cent tie to sell it for $9.99, where you would make probably 50 cents, now you can make $4 or $5 on that tie.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So if for the people in the chat, if you've never knew that, because that's news to me.
Yeah,
I never knew that.
I walked past every dirty tie ever. I never cared. I walked past every single one.
And
Have
many of
you
them
guys
sell for good.
ever heard of that?
Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, because she said, what's up? Because she said, yeah. I'm just wondering if the people listening in the chat, if they've heard that, because I've never, like, that's news to me. I'm gonna definitely do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'll let you know how it turns out, man.
Okay.
Because that's awesome. That it just sounds like it works, right? Like I pictured it.
Yeah, you got to remember your neighborhood dry cleaner is not going to tell you anything, because they don't. Anything that comes in my shop goes in water right now. It's a wet cleaning process, and I have done an alpaca carpet. And, when I first did it, the guy's telling me, now this carpet was $3,000. And I was like, well, it's going to cost you $400 to have it cleaned. So then I start thinking, well, an alpaca. I've never done one before. I looked up all the information on it. I was like, I got a better idea. So I took that alpaca carpet. Everybody says it's like a fur. It's like animal skin. So everybody say, oh, you got to dry clean that. You got to dry clean that. I took it, washed it on a delicate cycle, went next door to the grooming shop, got the dog dryer and the dog brush, and brushed that carpet dry. That guy said that carpet never looked as good as it was, even brand new.
Wow.
So
yeah,
don't be afraid.
Now, yeah, because I mean, shoot, you're the dry cleaning guy, right? Like I remember, I found and I did a video about it, but it was the one where you probably seen it because I know you watched. You told me the other day you watched like all my videos.
Yep.
But yo, did Oscar just change shirts or something? That was weird. Did you see that? Was it just me?
He had a hoodie on, bro.
What are you talking about?
No, but it was like but dude, and when he jumped into the chat, it flashed.
It's been a long day. All right,
John Cena, man.
6 degrees in Miami. All right, so that's all.
Did you just say freezing in Miami? It's 37 degrees here. I don't want to hear it.
Oh man, you're so lucky, John.
50 degrees inside of my house, and if you go by a Miami scale, 50 degrees is like it should be snowing in this house.
That's cold.
Yeah. It should be snowing in this house. That's 32 degrees, Oscar. I'll let you know.
Yeah, but there's 32 degrees up there for you Ohioans. All right, in Miami, the freezing point is 50 degrees.
50 degrees in Miami. It's Cuban math.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed crazy. Like when he popped in, maybe it was because the image from when he left was still on there, but it literally flashed. And it could just be me because I'm not gonna lie. I'm exhausted, dude. I don't stop. But I am gonna watch the Wu-Tang American Saga series pretty soon because I love Wu-Tang forever. But yeah, I made a video where I found I on Poshmark somebody asked me if I can model a purse. Well, they must have thought that it was a girl, or like it was maybe a lady that owned the Poshmark store or whatever, So I was like, yo, I would totally model the purse for you. I'm down. So I made a video about it, having some fun, and I literally posted that picture of me modeling the purse on the listing. And I replied to the person, I'm like, I believe in customer satisfaction, and I hope this is what you're looking for. And I ended up selling that purse. But I paid $10 for the purse. It was a Christian Dior purse. And I actually paid a guy, and I regret it, but at the same time I don't. But it was like I spent $20 for a dude to clean a purse, and it was a tiny little purse. It was a little cloth kind of purse, like $20. Like I went in there honestly expecting him to tell me like, oh, $5. He was like first he said 40, and I'm like 40? Are you crazy, dude? Like no, I'm not paying 40. He's like, well, look, you could buy this big bottle of stuff that you're only going to probably use a few times and try to do it yourself. And the bottle costs $9. And I'm like, what? I'm like, dude, I don't got time for this. Look, here, I'll give you how much. And then he told me, look, I'll do it $20 because I ended up doing business with him. He has a ton of shoes, like a ton of shoes. I guess kind of like how you would have shoes or something left over. But he has stuff also in boxes. So I ended up doing some business with him, and I connected him with another guy, and I get a small percentage of every sale. So, and I don't do nothing. All I did was introduce this guy to this other guy, he goes off and he sells his shoes from out of his trunk. I don't know how he does it, but the other guy supplies the shoes, and I get a small percentage every once in a while. I got, an extra $100 or whatever. But yeah, I paid $20, man, to get a purse screen. I ended up selling it for, I ended up making like $80 profit, $100 profit, but it's well worth the
That
investment.
says dry clean only. You could
Depends.
really do at your house. 90% of the stuff.
You have to be careful.
90% of the stuff you could do. It's following the right way to do it, and you could get it done. So don't let a stain scare you.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, is there any other tips that you would like to give the reselling community, especially the people who...
We got to get to 40 thumbs up.
Oh,
How
I
many-
got a
how many-
question.
How many thumbs up we got now?
We got 39.
Okay, I got one for you. So
39. How
today,
many are watching?
There's
44.
44.
We got to have 44.
All right. Listen. I got a good one for you. So at my friend's house today, Oscar was a witness to this. They had, incredible, dude. We Are the World, right? Was what the biggest televised
One of the
music.
biggest, it was the music tour. I think they did it in Africa. It was one of the biggest music events.
In the time of the 80s, dude, it had every artist, right? It had from Ray Charles to, I mean, you name the person. They had Cyndi Lauper on the poster and stuff, but
Michael
Everybody.
Jackson.
they had vintage T-shirts from concerts from the 70s and the 80s, and they had them just in a drawer. They didn't know they had them because it's been there for so long, just sitting in a drawer, folded up and tied in bundles, like probably 10 shirts in each bundle. With and then the shirts are just like, they've been sitting there for over 20 years, so they have different stains on them, and I'm quite possibly some of it's like rat stuff, like rat droppings and stuff like that. Like, how would you handle like a vintage Hanes, T-shirt?
What I would do is you got to remember, I got to save that for the tip, but what I would do is take it and soak it overnight in warm water with a little bit of OxyClean. But before you put the garment in the water, take the OxyClean with some water and make it a paste. And put the paste on them spots and let it sit for like 20 minutes to a half an hour. Then put it in the bucket. Let it stay in there overnight. Take it out and wash it.
What kind of paste was it?
The OxyClean?
Oh, OxyClean.
OxyClean. Or you go to the dollar store. Dollar Tree has this LA, it's called LA Pre-Wash, and LA, it's like an OxyClean. Comes in a little tub. It's only $1. So you go to your Dollar Tree and get some of that pre-wash and some of that OxyClean and mix it together to make it a paste with some water. And then just put it right on the spots and let it sit on the spots. Then stick it in the bucket and let it sit. And not every stain's going to come out, but you're going to get most of them out. A stain is a garment that is permanently stained. But what you're seeing is a stain that you could remove.
We have a question from the chat, Alex. If you want to pop it up on the screen.
Well, I gotta respond.
Underwear. All right. What would you suggest? You see it? What the hell is asking? Vintage underwear. Well, it's not a question. It's a comment. It's an observation. If you can pop it up, Alex.
Let me try to find it. I think it's the one I responded to just now. Vintage underwear are even harder to that one.
Yeah, pop it up. So, what would you do to get those marks off of vintage underwear?
Take a pair of scissors. Take a pair of scissors and cut along the outline, and then they'll be gone, and they'll never come back.
You just wear them inside out, bro.
There you go. There's little to no investment in that. Just your time.
Jeremy always has the best questions.
Carol asked, let me pop this one up because you mentioned the ties. How do you tie the ties before you wash again?
Okay, you take the long tie. I don't think I have one in
No,
this
we
shoe.
don't.
You take the long tie and you put the two open ends together, and you tie like you're going to tie your sneakers. You make a loop and tie it all the way down to where it's about 6 inches from the closed end of the tie. Then you take the openings again and tie a knot in the tie. It doesn't have to be tight, just fairly snug, and then stick it in the wash. That's going to stop that inside panel from turning, because now if that turns when you're washing it, you got to take the whole tie apart, turn it straight, and sew the whole thing back up. But if you tie it, it's going to keep that stuff from twisting in there.
Right.
Got you. Yeah, because anytime I've ever in the past, a long time ago, because I ever rarely wore a tie until a few years ago. A few years ago, I would wear a tie once a week when I would go to church, and when we would go wash our ties, the ties would come out all messed up, dude.
Yeah.
There was nothing you could do. And then you put the iron to it, and then the iron will burn the tie, and it was just a mess.
Well, the thing is while it's wet, it won't burn it. So that's why you wait till it's half dry, press it really hard, and then just hang. When the iron's going to dry it somewhat the rest of the way, but then just hang it over like the curtain rod in the shower, and just let it dry overnight. Here in Florida, you can hang them outside for 15 minutes and they'll be dry.
Yeah, that right there is a tip that's good enough to watch, right? Like if you tuned in, that tip right there just made it great. Because I mean, I remember I saw a comment that they mentioned, like something about carpets or whatever is better profit than ties or whatever. Which, yeah, you're not, for the most part, you're not gonna get a ton of sales on ties and a ton of profit off of ties. Unless you get like brand new ones, right? You get brand new ones and it's something else, but certain name brands yield more of a value of a profit than others. But yeah, ties aren't really that much, and I mean they sell, but not that much. You know what I'm saying? But
but it always seems the top brand ties are always stained up when you go to the thrift store. Always.
Yeah, and that's why people don't do them.
Yeah, so you get those ties and you take them home, and you could, if you take them up to the desk and say, hey, look, this tie is $2, but look at all these stains all over it. Can I have it for 50 cents? They're going to say yes, because they're going to end up throwing it away anyways, because no one else is going to buy it. Yeah. So now you're getting that tie for 50 cents. You're cleaning it yourself. Now, even if you sell it for $10, that's more money than no money.
Josh, are you gonna?
Josh is gonna perform for us. Let me put you on the main screen, and you're gonna guide him. You're gonna be the voice, Pete, and he's gonna be the demonstrator. Let me put him up here. All right, go ahead.
See, people do learn things on our show.
So if I remember correctly, Pete,
okay,
the ties.
You fold the tie in like half.
Oh, all right, hold on. I already screwed it
up. So where
up.
the openings are up facing the ceiling. Okay. Now the first loop you put in your sneaker.
Yep.
Put that and put it all the way down 6 inches to where the closure of the tie is at the bottom.
Like that?
6 inches from there.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Now take the top again and tie a knot in it about 4 inches down from the opening.
Is it too much?
No, that's good. That's good.
That's it?
That's it. And throw it in the wash on a gentle cycle.
The biggest thing is you want to do it so that it doesn't twist the inside when it's going through the wash.
That's just going to hold the inside straight with the outside. So now when you get it out, you untie it put it over a rod, like your shower curtain rod.
Right.
Let it dry halfway, or if you could put it outdoors.
Right.
You know, put it outdoors, but halfway, and then take a piece of a sheet and put it on top of it, and then with that hot iron, just press it down and press it as hard as you press down on that ironing board, and go back and forth about 5 or 6 times. Then hang it over that shower rod for the rest of the night. The next morning, it'll look brand new.
And you got a brand new tie. And at the very least,
yeah,
you don't want to sell ties. Which me personally, I don't want to sell ties. I got them and I'll sell them, but I'm not gonna focus on them, right? But a tie, you always should have a good tie ready for that moment that you go meet Gary Vee. You know what I'm saying? Like you get invited somewhere, you know, you gotta have a tie, man. You gotta have a nice tie, some nice shoes. You know what I'm saying? I'm in sandals, I'm in flip flops and basketball shorts every single day of my life, even when I'm roofing. So my father hates that I do that, but I do it anyway. But I still have me a nice tie, you know.
And always remember the vinegar.
And the vinegar.
See, I use vinegar to like smells from a room, but for all like my old vintage and thrift clothing, I use vodka. I do the spray vodka on all the old vintage clothing, get all the smell out.
I've heard that before.
I was looking for different ways of doing it because I have like there were vintage costumes, a lot of cloth. It was like 1940s, 50s, 60s, and so I started looking up, and the one big thing that I found is vodka, 80 proof minimum. And I'd literally just sprayed the clothes. I had them hanging, let them spray, had a light fan on them, and a half hour later, they just smelled like clothes. They didn't smell like vodka. They didn't smell like a Goodwill. They didn't, you know.
The thing about the vinegar is when I was born into an Italian family, 100% Italian. We have pasta every Sunday. Every time I do a tie, it seems like I'm ready for a bowl of pasta.
Yeah, right?
That's awesome. No undies and no pants.
Yes, even Talbert's mom. The vodka took cigarette smell out of Coach purses.
Yep.
I was just afraid to spray. I'd never sprayed like mixed vinegar onto. I was just so afraid of ruining them. You know what I mean? I didn't have a lot of money into them, but I've made amazing money on them. So, do you have
an air purifier?
I do. I have one. I keep one in the house and the garage. It has like the oxygenator, all that stuff.
And you know the funny thing with that is if you put them clothes in a real small room, like your bathroom would be the smallest one, and hang them on something so they're not touching.
Right.
Within 24 hours, that'll take all that smell out too.
That work. Yeah, I never even processed that. Like I have one sitting there because I can close off my laundry room, and it's a 4 foot by 4 foot space kind of deal with a door. So.
Yeah, I do fire restoration, and the smoke smell from a fire, a house that's been on fire, and I take all those clothes and get them clothes back to wearing, and it's loading my room up with that air purifier in it for 24 hours before I clean them.
Right. No,
and that takes all that smoke smell out of there.
Now I want to point out this comment because my name is Fatman The Flipper, and I approve this message. Commonwealth Picker, I want to thank you. I love the positivity, man. It says, I just have to say that this might be the best looking panel I have ever seen on YouTube. I agree.
I agree too.
It's a totally amazing panel. And Drew from Profit Monsters, he's asking if Mike talks, and Mike, when he speaks, he doesn't just speak, he roars. You know what I'm saying? Mike, what's up? Where'd you go? Did you go have dinner, dude?
Oh, me just now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to eat a sandwich because the kid's grandma made me a sandwich and I didn't want it to go to waste and an ant to get on or something. So I had to go eat it real quick.
I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't mad at you.
How'd you know?
John from Nevermore Antique says that Pirate charges 99 cents a word. Pirate has not charged anything to this day that I know of. He's all about giving. Yo, what's up? That's Frontier Flipper. You see Gavin right there? Yo, Gavin, check this out. I want to show everybody what he gave me for my birthday.
You made them not be productive for about the next couple months. Well,
Dude,
between me
it's
and
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yo, this game right here
you, ruined
is.
this.
I've played it. I played it 3 nights. Like as I'm in bed, it's kept me up an extra hour each night. But every time I played it, I've gotten this much closer to beating the game. And that's one of my dreams, dude, is to beat the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Nintendo game. So it's just awesome. So thank you, Philip, for that gift, dude. I can't thank you enough, man. It was awesome, man. And yeah, that's all I want to say.
He says you better.
I'm done. What?
He says you better beat it.
I'm gonna beat it, and I trust me, you'll know when I beat it. You know, I'll let you know. What's up, Swan Picker? Talbert's mom. She is an amazing human being. Yeah, Jody, man. If you know me, man, I love vintage Nintendo, all that kind of stuff. But Ninja Turtles, I just love them. I love them because that was something that I grew up with and I love. You know, that brings me back to a happy place in my past. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely one of my favorite things. So if anybody ever comes across anything, which I already had, Lisa C. Lisa sent me a couple things from Ninja Turtles, man. I mean, people have just shown me love, man, with the Ninja Turtles because I love them.
Yeah, I love
And I really appreciate that.
I keep Ninja Turtles. This is one of the ones that Derek sent me. Can you guys tell who my favorite Ninja Turtle is?
Raphael.
Yes.
Splinter.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another one. Look, I want y'all. I don't say it. I rarely say it when we go live. I forget to. I used to say it, but I forget to. But if you haven't already, the link to the Bad Boys of Reselling is in the description of this video. If you haven't subscribed to Josh, Suburban Beard, and CuBaNaSo, DG Picker, or myself, feel free to go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell. Go over to all, hit the all button so you can get notified of all our future uploads. And also, I honestly, it was a last minute thing, so Mike's channel isn't in the description, but I'll put it in there. Pete doesn't have YouTube. He doesn't do YouTube. He's not a social media guy. He's just a hardworking entrepreneur. 40 years of experience, man, of stories. Tell us a story, man, a war story, like something that's gonna just blow our minds. And I know you got one. And also, while he does that, guys, ask something. If you guys got questions for anybody on the panel, feel free to ask.
I had a lady come in one time to my cleaners, and she bought a wedding dress from the thrift store. And after a while, when you drink liquor, if you spill it on something white, it caramelizes, and it looked like this pretty brown little swirl here. So she brought the dress in to be cleaned, and she said, "I need this clean. My wedding's on Saturday, blah, 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 blah." I said, "Okay." So I took the dress, and I was like, I knew that was liquor when I seen it, but I didn't say nothing to her. I thought that's why she was taking me to be cleaned. So I took it, and I cleaned it. And the thing came out snow white, sparkling, everything. She comes to pick up her dress. She said, now, most of her teeth were missing. We got a lot of rednecks up here in Lakeland, but most of her teeth were missing. She says, "You ruined my dress." I says, "What do you mean I ruined your dress?" "You ruined my dress. That brown." I said, "Ma'am, that brown was liquor that was caramelized. My grooms are that color, and now it's not on my dress. I'm calling Bay News 9, and I'm going to tell them to come up here because you're ruining things." I said, "Ma'am, what are you going to tell them? I cleaned your dress?"
She literally did the colors to her wedding
with that
the color
brown,
of that dress.
the dirt. And I was like, oh my God.
And it was like a swirl on her chest, like if somebody left something nasty on her chest.
Right.
Yes.
It also got on some of the beads that were in the front. So
it looked like, if you didn't know and you looked at that dress, it looked like it belonged there.
It was just the way they
spilled it, and the way it went, it was just on the chest. And she thought I ruined her dress. And I was like, what are you gonna tell the TV, that I cleaned your dress?
She even brought in her brothers and her
brother's shoes and the cake was that color brown. And she was like, no, I'm not gonna have none on me.
But she brought in her brothers and her cousins because they thought they were going to get physical with Pete because he cleaned the dress.
Oh, that okay.
She would have been ruining the dress if you would have grabbed a pair of scissors and cut around the
yeah. Or leaving the brown stuff there. I would think she would have been glad. But it's crazy. Some of the things that people say in my shop are unbelievable.
We're still on this reselling.
So
she wanted to stay left in.
She wanted her money back. I said, I can't give your money back because I cleaned your dress.
You're so evil. How dare you?
I know.
This is why we don't have nice things.
I'm like, this is just unbelievable. This lady thinks that dirt was part of her wedding. So
I guess for her it was like her big, idea and dream, but she failed to mention that wasn't a stain that needed to be taken out. She just brought in the dress, be like, hey, I need you to clean this for me. And he was like, yeah.
She didn't know it was a stain. And I'm like, by looking at it, I could tell you it was liquor that had sat and just caramelized on the dress. And it was like a medium tone of brown. And after you see that a few times, you know what it is. And I knew what it was, and I thought that's why she was bringing the dress there to be cleaned. But no, she wanted that left on there. But I cleaned her dress, and she was upset. Very upset. She called the cops. So.
That's crazy. Jordan.
What's up?
Nothing. Chilling. Talk to me, man.
Side note, I'm interrupting Jordan. See, that's where, in a weird, strange world, Pete and Storage Auction Pirate have the same style, I guess, for lack of better words, business, right? Like Pete has the laundromat, the free clothes he's selling. Storage Auction Pirate buys a unit for anywhere, $40 to $200, $500, and finds $5,000 of value in it. It's like you can find amazing value in all different areas of reselling. It blows my mind.
What did everybody find today?
Oh, I can't reveal that stuff yet.
You can see part of what Alex on his older videos.
Yeah, you can. If you've watched my videos in the past, you'll have a hint. But there's just amazing things are coming, man. It's so awesome. It's so awesome.
I spent a day digging through World War II military hats and uniforms and ammo clips and just crazy stuff on this unit I bought for $5,500 yesterday.
Wow,
nice.
That's crazy. Nice.
So, but you put out the video soon, or like? Well, yeah.
No, I haven't. Only showed a photo on my YouTube, and now I kind of gave away a lot of the stuff I found, obviously. But to see, it's going to be different. There's like 100 boxes of just crazy military clothes and parts, and like I found a couple mechanisms that are like the triggers for grenade launchers. Like it's just like weird, crazy stuff. Yeah, and
Oscar,
Monday or Tuesday the whole week will be all videos of that.
Oscar's gonna be hitting you up.
When will that be on film?
Oh well, I have filmed a couple, but they don't. I try to stay in sequence. Like if I go to an auction, I want to put that out before that video, so people can actually journey with me how to buy a storage unit. Like we're here, this is what we're doing the next day. I try to keep it in sequence, so I'm like about 3 days away from those coming out.
Okay. Still amazing. I still love the videos. I still love your flea market videos. I don't know why. I'm mesmerized by them.
Yeah.
The flea market here is fun. I think that's the one thing that we have in the Bay Area in California that a lot of places in the country don't have the luxury of. Like I can go 7 days a week. Some days I have a choice of 5 to 10 flea markets, and the weather is great. 275 days a year, so you're hardly ever rained out. So we have a luxury for what I do. Whereas I said this in my video the other day, I think it's hard for people to repeat my system of selling storage units because they don't have the ability to off 95% of each unit in 1 day or 2 days like I do here on a constant basis.
Yeah, here I've got to pay $85 to throw it out, or go to the flea market 2 times a week. And if it's raining, then it's only indoor, and it's only 30 people walk by.
Oh yeah, here there I sometimes have 100 people in my booth.
Wow.
It's usually a dollar sale, but that's still 100 people. And then I give it away for free, and it's like a $40 dump run, and I turned in a crappy unit into $500 to $1,000 at the flea market.
Yeah, dude, I've seen some of those videos that you and Alex put out. Like Alex, I love it when Alex does the post or he does a video where he's like, free. Everything's free.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah, dude. And then I see the people that be just showing up to your flea market thing. There's like 30 people just looking through stuff, and I'm like, wow, dude. Like,
imagine if you had to take a whole trailer load to the dumps. That's like $80 to $100. Whereas if you sell it for $1 and then give it away for free, you've now turned into a few hundred plus saved most of the dump run. It becomes like a $20 dump run. So that's a big swing.
Yeah, that's genius.
And less work.
There was some lady asking some guy in the chat asking about how to get oil stains out of garments. The easiest way is to take a little bit of Dawn dish soap, mix it with a little bit of water, and put that on there, let it sit on there for a while, and then try rinsing it out that way. The only thing with oil stains is if someone prior to you took that and then dried that garment while that stain was in there, a lot of times that stain won't release all the way. But other than that, if you do that, and just remember, anytime you put something in your washer, use the delicate cycle. Way more water than with the garment. If you got one garment, don't put it on the lowest water. Put it on the highest water, because then that stops it from moving around the lot too. And then never dry a garment. That's what shrinks your garment. Never dry it.
Great tip. Another great tip right there. And he didn't even ask for the thumbs up. Can you believe that? That was just like Reyes the entrepreneur said last week. Free 99 knowledge right there. That was free 99 knowledge.
Free 99.
Storage, come closer to the mic, my man. Oh, yeah. I guess Jody saying for you, Mike, to come closer to the mic.
To go closer to the camera?
Oh, now you sound better.
It was just I think your signal was bad.
See,
I
since Mike
was outside where it's really dark, so I came in the house to sit and kind of light.
Since Mike's with us this week, next week we should have Salt Princess. I just want to see her hold all that flea market money and wave it in front of the
Suburban Beard wants you to be on next week live and not me.
Oh, but she's there.
She's on the other side of the living room right now. I was telling her.
Yeah, I'll be super cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get her videos coming back out. She kind of took a hiatus real quick, and I'm trying to get her back into it.
She can come on with you next week then. It's fine, we'll get her talking.
I try to get her to be like my partner on every live, and she just always no, Dad, I can get 5 minutes of her for an hour basically.
I think that's awesome though.
Yeah, she's got fans in the chat.
The interaction between both of y'all is there's value there, dude. There's it's just authentic, and it's funny. It's love at the same time. It's cool.
It's kind of weird. It's almost like we sound like a married couple half the time. She is always yelling at me like she's my mom or something, And she thinks she's my boss. That's always fun.
Well, she does have all the money at the flea market, so.
Yeah, well, I like to let her be in charge of the flea market versus because this job is hard. Like buying storage units is so time consuming. It's literally 7 days a week, at least 5 to 12 hours a day, and then trying to squeeze in running a YouTube channel where you got to put out a 20-minute, 25-minute video every day. Like I like to just step back to the flea market and talk to customers, work on my video while I'm doing it, and let her run everything because that's kind of what her job is anyway. So it's easier.
You got a question here from Brian Oaks, the Haiti Honey.
Yeah, everybody keeps asking me that. I'm still very soon. As soon as I get paid on my big auction I did of Grimes, I'll be taking care of the living situation, you know, and I'm gonna definitely have be announcing that when it transpires. But I haven't been in a hurry. You know what I mean? There's my son.
What's up, man?
Yeah. What's up? We're on a live.
How's it going?
You can't see the comments right here. He likes to read the chat, but he's not.
Hey, look at Princess
Justin!
Oh, what's up?
Say hello
The
to everybody.
princess of all princesses.
She had to get him to come on camera so she wasn't shy.
We'll have the whole pirate family on next week.
There you are, Mikhail. You want to
Hey, you heard that? Next week we'll have the entire family of pirates.
I'll try to get him on. We gotta get you guys to come out here and buy a storage unit like I was talking about.
Yeah, me and Oscar are planning on it. We've looked up tickets. We're figuring out dates.
Yeah.
And his lady's gonna come with us, and your daughter too, probably too, right? Of course.
Yeah, my wife was born in California, you know, and I told her about it. She hasn't been back. She moved out of California when she was 11 years old, and she's never been back. So when I told her about it, I was like, "Hey, you want to go to the Bay Area? You know, see some storage units?" And she's like, "Yeah, she'd love to go back." So she'll be coming with us when we make it out there. We were looking at flights to see, and I'm excited about learning about storage units. We do a lot of garage sales out here.
I'll teach you how to do some storage units.
You know what Alex was telling me?
I'll give you guys the whole experience. We go to the auction, we buy it, we move it, we sell it. Boom.
You're gonna make us work, aren't you?
I was like, dude, I'm really excited to go, but I'm kind of, there's part of me that doesn't want to go because I have a feeling Mike is gonna put us to work.
Oh well, you want to learn to do a storage unit, you got to learn to work. That's the number one.
Yeah, that's my first auction I went to. I helped Jeremy and Storage Legends load a whole unit that was. Oh my god, it was a disgusting unit.
Yeah, I was so excited to meet Grimes and Hales, and then it was 3 days and 25 hours of constant lifting things out of basements and storage units, and I'm like, this is horrible. I'm like, oh, thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Justin.
I know. Let's clip things up because that was a joke, right? That was a joke, y'all. Like y'all can ask Oscar. Like I've had people tell me, man, I've never seen a fat man move so fast. I'm not afraid of work, man. I'm not afraid of work. I don't stop. My face is red from like the fact that I don't stop. I don't stop, and I get my rest. Like there's days where I'll take a quick 15-minute, 20-minute nap. And to get rejuvenated, dude, you know what I'm saying, and keep going, But yeah, I ain't afraid of work.
Yeah, it's one of the things. Waking up early. I said on my last video, if you want to be one of these people that's gonna go out and be able to find the good deals, if you're out at the estate sales, yard sales, garage sales, you got to be disciplined. Discipline, wake up early, and not be afraid of getting your hands dirty, working. A lot of people may think that, hey, reselling, oh, it's easy. You list it on eBay and then you're done. Well, as Pete and his wife were saying earlier when we were speaking, it's a lot of work. Listing on eBay, and it's the whole hustle part. It's got to be, it's got to be inside of you. I wear shirts that say hustle because I truly, hustle, grind, with wine. You gotta be disciplined.
It's a nonstop. It's a lifestyle. That's why I say it's not a motto. It's a way of life. Like once you start being a reseller form, it takes time because the listing. That's what drives me wild is I don't have time to list anymore. I actually started outsourcing stuff, and one of the subscribers, Mary Harris, you guys might know her. I send her all my costume jewelry now, so I don't have to worry about it. She lists it, we split the money. I have another woman. I've been giving her like all my purses and clothes and high-end stuff that I never ever listed, and I'm making more money with her selling and giving me half than I was selling it by myself.
That's a good idea.
Right.
And I don't got to waste any time. And
Yeah,
that's nice to do, is be able to outsource it to somebody.
yeah, and I think maybe a lot of it might have to do, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that they have the knowledge on these pieces. You know, when it comes to costume jewelry and then purses, handbags, things like that, things that we as men may not be as educated as them. So that
Yeah, but
probably
see,
my
there's one simple thing that should make us all on the same level of education, and all you have to do is type in what name it is into Google, and it's going to tell you all about it real quick, like, or eBay.
Right.
Just boom. Like when you type in the name of anything on eBay, to me, I think research is easy. Like you look up a bracelet, if it says the word Cora on it, all you got to do is type in Cora bracelet on eBay. Hit sold, highest price, scan down. You almost always could see your item. And research is really simple if you just use basic words to look up your item. That's what I do. Like I learned just from looking on eBay. eBay, the basic words, sold, complete listing, scroll by picture, and you can usually find something really fast.
right. Yeah, like I went to an estate store and I said, and I'm gonna show it. And I found something that was really cool. And while I was there, I searched for it before I bought it because I already know that these were selling multiple times a day on eBay, but I didn't know the exact value of it, right? And there's some of these items that don't sell as high, and there's some that sell for ridiculous amounts of money. I'm talking upwards of $1,800. It's not what I have in here.
It's okay. It's not happening. The Yankees got stuff with code that you must have
This
the Astros license that they made up.
maybe most would see this and they, okay, it's a normal figurine, right? But something special about the figurine.
Yadro. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a rooster?
Yep.
So it's a cock with a hole in it?
I wasn't gonna say that because you're not supposed to say that.
I'm sorry, Alex. I'm sorry. It's your channel. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Is that a Yadro?
So I got this at the yard sale, at the estate sale, and it was just hanging out there. But when I looked it up, these things sell for about $260. I didn't pay nowhere near that. They were asking $80. I got them down to $60, but they're selling consistently.
Nice.
Just simple research. I do it all the time. I took my wife with me to estate sales, and yeah, doing research is important. So I wanted to share everybody my rooster. I don't want to sell it now because this is a nice rooster, but
I sold the rooster. It thing cost me $80 to ship. It's ridiculous. I've never, not even the 90-pound printer that I shipped cost $90 to ship.
Brian says it's a holy cock.
I be at the flea market when somebody touches that item. I'll be like, get your hand off my, they just. I don't really want to say that on YouTube because I found that it's not good to say that, but I find that a joke to be funny when I'm off of the air like that.
All right, so I want to know, Pete, are you just going to stick with reselling, or do you have other business ideas?
Oh,
wait,
Pete,
hold on.
Muted.
Come on, he's muted.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay. I'm hoping by next December, not this coming up one, next one, to close down the cleaners, close down the pet grooming shop, and just do the reselling full time.
Okay.
And whatever comes up, whatever my wife asks for, and I got to buy it, I'm going to think, how could I buy a bunch of these and make money?
Amazon's, that's the trick, really. That's
Amazon's dead.
Amazon's dead.
Amazon's closed.
Amazon's closed.
They're not accepting any more items.
That's my next not venture. I've already in it. I have to stick Amazon back up, but I found my first local manufacturer, so trying to figure out how not to screw that up. But well, if I screw that up, then I'm just sticking with storage auctions. I'm done with everything else.
Storage auctions are so fun.
That's one thing I want to try eventually when I get a little bit of time. Do some.
What area do you live in, Pete?
He's in Pete. What area you live in?
What's that?
Mike asked you what area you live in.
Central Florida, Lakeland. I'm between Orlando and Tampa, halfway in.
Nice. I think they have some good units out there because I see them on Storage Treasures a lot. There's two I want to kind of buy there. They're for they're like $4,000 each right now. They look like they might be some serious musicians, like some really nice guitars. It's ending in like a day or two. I'm contemplating.
There was one day I was watching Wade Ventures, and he was doing this thing where you search the yard sale or the storage units.
Yeah.
And he found one here in Orlando and had all these Harley Davidson things in there. And no one knew what they were, but Orlando has a Harley Davidson motorcycle school. And what those things were the toolboxes they give you as students with all of your Harley tools in. And there was 3 or 4 of them in that storage unit there.
They have some, like I said, I see them a lot on there because I like to scour the top 10 units on there just to see if I ever want to go fly somewhere crazy. And they have some good units in Florida. Just keep looking on there.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Storage units.
Don't go for cheap. Go for quality. That's my best advice. Everybody always wants to try to buy something for like $20 or $50. Look for quality because quality stuff tends to have lots of quality items.
What did you say that website you looked it up on?
Storage Treasures.
Storage Trader.
Treasures. If you go on their home page, at the very bottom is the top 10 units to always be in bid, and there was 2 of the most expensive are in Florida. They're expensive, but I think I feel like the guitars in there could be something like a Martin or a. I don't know. I just have this gut feeling that they're 2 good musician units.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, one owner.
Yeah.
Next thing I'm gonna hear is a phone call from Pete saying, "Alex, you're not gonna believe what I did." He spent $3,000 on a storage unit, and his wife is gonna. What is it? How is it that Christine reacts every time you tell her a new idea?
Yeah, she says, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Yes," again.
And it always works out. It always
does. We always make it work. This friend of mine always told me, when your back's against the wall, come out fighting, don't turn around.
Yep.
And that's what you got to do. You might not. When I bought that cleaners, I knew nothing about dry cleaning. And I met a guy in Marco Island, which is halfway between Miami and Lakeland. I went down there and stood with him for a week, and he trained me, and I came back, had no equipment, so now I had to go down to Miami and buy a bunch of equipment. And before you know it, I was cleaning clothes, and I was like, I can't believe this. My wife tells the story. When we first moved in together, I did the first load of laundry, and all our maroon towels turned everything else pink. And she says, now you're cleaning other people's clothes? Are you nuts? So yeah, it's crazy.
I think it's amazing, man, because I really value the relationship that we're starting to build between me and you, just like getting to know you, talking to you, and I really value your experience and the things you've shared with me, and that's one of the reasons why I thought of you to invite you for the show. I also thought that you would entertain everybody with your stories, and so far you haven't disappointed. The other reason that I thought you would be great was I want the viewers to have an opportunity or even have the courage, like to come share their story. I mean, I don't care if you do YouTube. This is how it's been from the beginning. We've just had a lot of people that that are known in the social media that we've been blessed to have them come, as guests. But I truly believe in letting the viewers come on every once in a while. I'm even thinking of just like every time it's my time to host a show, I want to just have a regular viewer that doesn't even have Instagram or Facebook or none of that stuff. Just a regular average business person share their story. Because I think it's interesting. I think it's amazing, and it's a great way to motivate everybody else, and it's also a great way to motivate yourself, right? So,
I got a question for you, Alex.
what is it? Oh man, I don't like questions, man. Last time I got questions, man, I was in the back of a cop car, man, and they was asking me all kind of questions. I'm just joking.
When are we going to see another video with Manuela?
Good.
He sold her.
He said he's buying her back.
Wait.
He said he's buying her back
It has to be after Halloween.
after Halloween.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a collab with Manny.
You mannequin trafficker.
Yeah, I actually, as soon as it happened, I regretted it. It's not regretted. It was more like I was like, why did I do it? Well, yeah, I guess that's regret. I regretted it, dude. Because I wanted to do collabs with Manny. I talked to Josh about doing a Manny and Manuela show where they come on and they talk to each other, and we answer questions for people. But I've tried reaching out to the person I sold her to, and I haven't gotten a response yet, man. And it sucks because I want that one back, and I know that they're not going to use it more than after Halloween.
Or if they like it, then they'll use it for Christmas.
Yeah,
that's my problem. The whole point of my mannequin had nothing to do with YouTube. It literally had to do with he's supposed to be dressed up as Buddy the Elf and stand outside in my Christmas display. And so now I have no idea what I'm going to do for my Christmas display since Buddy the Elf is now part of my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I have another dummy that I'm, going to try and use, but I don't know if it'll work as well. She's now suffering as a window display.
Yeah, I wanna get it back because I want to do more videos with it. I thought it was definitely one of the videos that people responded to the most, and that's kind of the direction I want to go with what I actually do, and focus my energy on. Like if I'm gonna put energy into YouTube, like that's what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna put my energy into that sort of content. But I do want to mix the reselling into it, right? That's what I've been doing. I mean, even when I haven't had the mannequin and all that stuff, I've always had some sort of, there's always been some sort of comedic value, I guess, right? Because I don't know, I guess I'm funny, or people just.
It's also it's our personality,
and that's just how I am. It's my personality. And then there's my character too. My character is my character is who I am, kind of, and then my personality is how I express myself. So, people confuse that, but that's what it is. But yeah, that's what I want to do, man. Make people laugh, have fun, and inspire people. Like my birthday video, like that wasn't a stunt to get views. Like, dude, yeah, I want people to share it. Yeah, I asked people to share it and all that, but it wasn't a stunt. It's not like I wanted fame. Like the idea behind it was to inspire people, and if people don't share it, it's not going to inspire nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, you gotta ask for people to share it and watch it and all that stuff. But I want to be able to inspire people, man, and motivate people to do good things.
Looks on those people's faces were priceless.
Huh?
The looks on those faces were priceless.
Because there's one thing I believe in, dude, and there's one thing that I used to struggle with a lot. I used to struggle a lot with wanting to change other people, right? Like before I had my moment where I wanted to change my life, I always thought everything was everybody else's fault. You know, I used to always point my finger at people. I used to point my finger and say, it's your fault. The reason this is happening to me is because of this person or that person. You know what I'm saying? And when I realized to point the finger at myself and look at myself, I was always frustrated and struggling with all that because I always expected other people to act a certain way, or I wanted people to change, right? When the only change that I had any control over was myself. So the frustrations I had, it wasn't because of other people, it's because I was allowing myself to be frustrated for whatever reason, right? So, and ultimately, what I stand by is, you know, if you want there to be change in the world, you need to be the change that you want to see in the world. But you can't change anybody. That's a quote from, I want to say it was,
Gandhi.
Gandhi. I was going to say Gandhi. And yeah, you want to be the change. You can't change anybody. If you want to see change in the world, be the change that you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all I want to do.
And then you know,
Huh? Bobby?
I would say be the example. I say that all the time. You want to be the example. You can't tell anybody, but if you show somebody, somebody may follow.
Yeah.
and another thing, the Michael Jackson, that song, Man in the Mirror, that song is amazing. If you actually listen to that song and you interpret what he's saying, that song is
One of my favorite
One of
songs ever, right there. I
Yep.
listen every day to remind myself.
Yep.
You probably heard me
Josh, do
sing
you
it.
still have that listing business?
The listing business. So I do and I don't. It's it got overwhelming.
Did it?
Doing a lot, and so I tailored it down to just, well, actually, kind of just the one person because they had so much work trying to keep up with it.
Right.
So I do that, and then that was that next part of trying to keep my business going, and that's where Jordan came up and rolled in, and we have a pallet of 4,000 to 5,000 items I have to go through. So
Yeah, I see that palette. When's that palette coming up?
that's coming up. Jordan's busy tomorrow, but I have to start going through it because I can't. I mean, I created a path through my garage. Yeah, you can see the ground a little bit now there.
Oh,
A little bit of ground.
looks
All those trash bags back there.
Pallet in the trash bags. There's the other mannequin dying. Yeah, it's I wanted to because I love even though it was 8 hours a day, it was a long day, but
Yeah.
132 listings up, but it was on my set. Well, I did like 108 on mine, and the rest were on the other one I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get with that, and then I still have like 3,000 VHS tapes in my car. So it's a good problem to have at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need to, it's basically kind of once I get leveled out and back into my groove, then yes, I'll be quote unquote reopening.
Mm-hmm. I just heard how it was going. I heard you on someone's channel.
Probably Harlan.
How you said you were going to be doing it. I just never heard anything else about it.
Yeah, it was part of it was because like the people I was doing it for too, I didn't want to give out who I was listing for. I mean that side of it. And so like even then I'm like, well, some of the stuff I was doing for people is stuff that they have on their own and they didn't want the product out there. You know what I mean? So I kind of like kept it on the down low, but then I just kind of sectioned everything off and just went with one because the other one I do is I actually take their product and then I list it and ship it for them.
Oh, that's good.
So it works, very nicely, and then it's very easy to deal with and stuff like that. And it's kind of like reverse consignment. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like running the store, but don't have to deal with anything else. So
FBJ, fulfillment by Josh.
Fulfillment by Josh. Yeah, Amazon's going down.
Hey, he started in a garage too.
He did that. He did.
Yeah, he went to Palmetto. He went to Palmetto High School. He was from around here. He's a local. Lived in Miami. Raised in Miami.
Anybody that could write his wife a check for their divorce for $25 billion and recover in a couple months,
Wow.
hats off.
Actually, maybe that's what I should do. I'll hit up his wife to see if she wants to start. We'll call it Amazon Dose. Run it out of my garage. This is perfect.
Alex Dio had another sale today. He gets so excited when he has a sale on eBay.
Yeah,
Because
I can imagine.
he just turned 19 years old. We had him set up an eBay store over the summer while he was home. And God, when he makes a sale, he's so excited that he made a sale. So excited.
Hell, I still
It's
excited.
it's an exciting feeling.
Yeah.
I love hearing that cha-ching.
All right, so we're approaching the last 9-10 minutes of the show. But before we head out, again, I'm gonna ask everybody if you're not subscribed to anyone that's in the panel. The links are in the description, or you can click on the any comment on the three dots and you can subscribe there. I'll be adding Storage Auction Pirate to the description. Pretty sure if you're watching me and us, like you're probably most likely subscribed to Mike. But if you're not, I would urge you, man. He's very inspirational, motivational guy. He's just awesome to watch with his storage units, and it's just, and he puts out content on a daily basis. He grinds, so definitely go do that. And Pete doesn't do any YouTube or anything like that, but just give him a shout out in the chat. That would be cool. I'm pretty sure he'll appreciate it.
You could go ahead and put my email in there if you want. If someone has a question they need answered, I could answer that for them.
You sure?
Yeah, you could go ahead and do that. Yep.
Okay. Or go ahead, Christine. Would you be able to type it in? Because you would know it off the top of your head.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That was Christine. For those who just tuned in, she's the chat master. She's
When we bought this house, there was a ghost in it. We were told, and come to find out, Christine is the ghost.
So, if anybody has any other questions or anything, go ahead and pop them into the chat real quick. And do you guys have anything exciting for the holidays you're gonna be doing other than whatever? You guys gonna be doing anything exciting?
Listing. Lots and lots of listing.
All
But
right.
we will have videos coming out soon, so I am going to start going through the palette. So it'll be a few days probably, because I actually like to do what Pirate does as well, or Mike, sorry, whatever you want to be called. Dr. Pirate does too, is keep it going in line of what I'm doing. So I try not to jump around too much unless I'm losing my mind and going frantic, and then it's a video from like 3 days ago that's all smashed together of I just bought a pallet, I have to leave.
You kind of have to have a crazy, frantic mind to do YouTube and buy storage units. It's impossible to stay fluent. You got to be able to just everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy, because then like my plan was on Thursday was to list all day, and I ended up out an hour and 12 minutes away with Jordan and the Hales and Storage Legends and 5 other people, and I ended up at a storage auction filled with mouse poop. It was disgusting.
It is terrible.
So nasty.
Jordan, you got anything exciting? Anything you want to announce? Anything?
Me?
Doing? Yeah.
No, just trying to edit videos and trying to keep putting content out every day. I'm gonna try this everyday thing. Kind of the direction Jeremy's pointing me towards is daily content. So it's right now it's gonna be the next few days is gonna be strictly what I do for a living, which is painting cars. I'm gonna try and double down on that, and then I think Monday or Tuesday. I think Monday I should have the Storage Legends video out. and then Tuesday I'll probably do my DG video maybe.
Cool.
Oh yeah, so it's just been a lot of editing, and then I'm gonna try to find time to list in there somewhere.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
if Jeremy takes the time to give you advice and guide you, it's wise knowledge, because he has helped me out a lot with my channel, and I owe him a lot for the knowledge he's taught me, direction, inspiration, etc., etc. So that's awesome. He's helping you out.
Yeah, man, he definitely gave me a lot of input and direction, and yeah, so I'm definitely gonna take it and run with it.
Where's I'm trying to find what's or just tell me what the email is. Tell it to me. I'm gonna type it in the chat. You guys able to put it in?
Coach Mancuso 11 at yahoo.com.
There you go. That's simple. I did it. So that's the email for if you guys have any questions. Remember, he's not only does he run a dry cleaners, and he knows he has tips for taking care of clothes and all kind of stuff, stains and all that great knowledge.
Pop it up on the screen.
Oh yeah, let me do that. You're a genius, Oscar.
Manny.
I put it. I can't even find there. It is. All right, so there it is. So definitely, he's asking. He's offering help to anybody who has any questions. But remember, he has 40 years of experience in business, and that includes failures, mistakes. That includes successes. He's had his hand in a few things, and he knows his stuff. So if you got a question, reach out and let him know.
Hold on, don't end this video. Jordan, when you stood up, it looked like you were sitting in a high chair.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't stand up.
Or if you moved, are you sitting?
I moved the screen to look for my cord. No,
Move your screen back down. It looks like you're in a high chair.
Kitchen chair.
All right, I'm look at Oscar. Look at Oscar laugh. I love it when Oscar laughs. I just put him on the spot, so he stopped. Yo, Mike, you got anything coming up other than your everyday awesome stuff that you do?
I don't know necessarily. I got tons of videos. I don't even know. I haven't even looked through this $5,500 unit. I've just been taking the trash out and waiting to get to the good boxes. I have a thing where, like, if I open a box, I can automatically tell you if it's going to be full of good or crap, and I wait, and this, is a mess, and they only give me 48 hours to move a unit, whether I spend $5,500 or $5 is kind of ridiculous. And I bought other units yesterday too, so we got collabs coming up this week because Grimes is coming out to finish up our big auction. I might send him back with another truckload of stuff now that I got this unit. That's about it.
No
videos and storages.
I gotta holler at you after this, so don't leave just yet. But I got something I need to talk to you about already. Like I told you, I talked to Jeremy a little bit. I talked to Grimes a little bit.
Oh yeah.
We got something planned out. Josh had a great idea. He threw it at me, and I'll talk to you after this. But I do want to mention, I told Oscar we were going to keep it top secret, but there's 30 people watching in this chat, and the majority of them have been watching this entire show. So I'm gonna give you guys a little taste of what's to come. I went to their house and I went through the closet. So there's gonna be a video Monday.
He's coming out of the closet.
I'm coming out of the closet on Monday.
And they'll stream.
Yo, on Monday I'm gonna come out with a video of it's a teaser, but it's an unboxing, right? Because she's gonna let me go through her closets and go. And it sounds ridiculous, right? But imagine getting a storage unit, right? Imagine getting a storage unit, and inside the storage unit is like the most amazing stuff, dude, right? But instead of a storage unit, it's a house, and it's been there for decades. And I'm talking about, like, man, it's so exciting. I let these guys can vouch for me. Like they've seen the majority and they know how excited I am about it. And Oscar was there with me today. We're gonna go tomorrow and film some more. We're gonna put out a series. I'm not gonna give too much. Just gonna let you know.
Well, you probably stop talking.
Oh no, me and Oscar are gonna put out a series of some amazing stuff. It's gonna be a good amount of time worth of content. We're gonna work together, and so definitely subscribe to our channel because when the stuff comes out, it's gonna be every single day until we finally get through it all. I talked to Mercy. Mercy's gonna let me go through the boxes. There's not a date set for that yet, but Marge is gonna let me go through her closet. So stay tuned for that video because it's ridiculous. It's amazing. It's awesome. Those videos are gonna come out, and that's what I got, and I'm excited about it because I'm not gonna say it, but me and Oscar, we're gonna do something pretty cool, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome, and hopefully bring life to some things that otherwise would never be seen or never be touched. So that's the hope of it. And if there's money involved, and everybody can eat, why not? I'll never say no to money. Right? Unless but yeah. And if we can share it with y'all that are in the chat, like I'm gonna give y'all a taste. If you know me, I'll give y'all one taste. If you know me, you know I love the Ninja Turtles. Check this out. This right here. You see this? You can look it up on eBay. I already did. But it's 1989. All right? Ninja Turtle poster. French, dude. Like this is awesome, but this is nothing in comparison to what you guys will be seeing here. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm so excited, man. That's it. We're over 2 hours, and I can literally talk for another hour about this stuff. So instead of doing that, I'll make videos about it. I'll see you guys on the next. Pete, Christine, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
It was awesome.
And whenever you want to come back on, you let me know. We'll get you on here and we'll talk some more. Right, man? And if,
tips and tricks.
Yeah, and if you ever do a storage unit, you're gonna talk about it on here first. All right?
Yeah.
And we'll have Mike here, and he'll and we'll all talk about it. It's gonna be cool. But
Okay.
Josh,
I will be here next week.
Yep. Next week, Mike is gonna be on my channel. We're having the show next weekend on Saturday on my channel, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna talk about storage units. We're gonna talk about staying motivated, perseverance, and a bunch of other good stuff. So make sure you tune into that.
I want to learn how to be a pirate.
I'll try to get Salt Princess to be my special guest sidekick on it.
That's right. We're gonna have the pirate family on.
The whole family.
That's what's up.
I love it. Even Manny will be here.
Yep.
Just for you, Alex.
Manny's been in the background.
Manny's probably mad that he got bumped.
Let me do this. Hold on.
Kick me out.
I can kick you out real quick. Look, I gotta do this for Manny. Manny's been here like a soldier, silent,
Hasn't even blinked.
hanging out the whole time. Manny, what do you gotta say for yourself? Manny has been silenced.
Oh man, he's got green eyes.
But yeah, it's been fun, guys. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you guys for joining me with this show. And again, next week, Oscar's channel. If you're not subscribed to Oscar and CuBaNaSo, link is in the description. I'll see y'all next week. Peace, money, love. And then the awkward part where you're clicking the button.
Is that working?